Yes, Cinder did donate money to Ironmouse's Tiltify to support the Deficiency Foundation. Sorry, flip that. Anyway, Immune Deficiency Foundation. And we're going to be talking about that in this video. This video has chapters and everything covered in the video has already been talked about. Just bringing attention to the fact that, yes, Cinder did donate to the Immune Deficiency Foundation through Ironmouse's Tiltify. Now, this is going to be heavily biased, and some stuff came about that is a part of the Cinder situation, in my eyes, regarding this, surprisingly enough. But let's just get into it so that way we can get the full picture of what I am trying to convey to you guys. Now, remember, heavily biased, pro-Cinder. Anyway, let's get into it. So, if you don't know, Ironmouse has started a campaign to raise money for the Immune Deficiency Foundation, and if you guys didn't know, on what day was it? July 21st, 2025, Ironmouse announces that she's leaving Vshojo. And in this video about why she's leaving Vshojo, she mentions that the IDF, or the Immune Deficiency Foundation, did not receive money from Ironmouse's charity work. Let's take a listen.
Sabaton was one of the biggest events I've ever done. The support was overwhelming, and I ended up getting over 300,000 subscribers and breaking the all-time sub record. But this also meant that we had raised $515,000 for the Immune Deficiency Foundation. I once again asked Vshojo to make the donation on my behalf, but unfortunately, still a year later, Vshojo has not paid the charity.
Yeah, so there's a whole thing about Vshojo right now, and if you guys don't know, Vshojo is essentially shutting down, and I'll provide a link in the description below for more context, but that's the whole thing. Vshojo didn't pay the IDF the money that Ironmouse raised for the IDF, so Ironmouse is now doing this campaign. Now, let's go to the campaign's top donors. Now, of course, we have an anonymous donor of $23,000. Wow, that's a lot. But as we scroll down through the top donors, we can see Cinder donated $6,666. I don't know if you guys can see that. No, you guys can't. Let me just shift it over real quick. Oops, what did I do? Uh-oh. Anyway, let me try to show this to you. There we go. There it is. So Cinder donated $6,666. Now, here's the thing. People have pointed this out on X and various social medias, and it's regarding Shy Lily's donation, which is $12,222.22. Now, what I've been hearing, what I've been seeing, is that apparently Shy Lily's donation is twice the amount of Cinder's, and they just happen to align a little bit. Now, here's the thing. This is what I've been seeing on X and what people have said, and I'll provide links in the description below for more context. But yeah, apparently some people are, like, upset with Shy Lily because apparently Shy Lily's donation is $12,222.22, while Cinder's is $6,666. And essentially it's like, oh, Shy Lily's trying to one-up Cinder by donating twice the amount. That's apparently what I've been seeing online. And it's funny because if you do the math, I'm gonna show this because I think it's really funny that people point this out. And who knows, maybe they're right or something. I have no clue. First I gotta realign this. Okay. So, let me go back to this overlay. Apparently, if you do twice the amount of Cinder's donation to Ironmouse's Tiltify for the IDF, it's actually $13,332, not $12,222.22. Now, these are probably a nothing burger thing, but I thought I'd report that and say, hey, apparently people are thinking that Shy Lily is trying to one-up Cinder by doubling her donation amount, even though twice of two times $6,666 is, yeah, $13,332, not $12,222.22. But I digress. I thought it was something interesting, and of course I will provide links to the description below for context on that. But another thing that came about was Vampeaches. Yes, she came out of the woodworks to make this announcement, which I will show here. So, in a now deleted tweet, um, she mentioned something about Cinder's donation, and she says this. This was posted on July 23rd, 2025. She says, any money for charity is good, but reading $6,666 and seeing that even something like a charity donation needs to have her branding just shows me nothing has changed. It's just what they feel is a good next business step to come back. People saying maybe she deserves to be forgiven. I'm sorry, but even if you're well intentioned, you don't get to say that. If you were not personally affected by her, you don't get to forgive on other people's behalf. What you should be saying is, I see the hurt this person has caused, but I'm willing to support them anyway. VTubers are anonymous, which is why they are rarely given second chances. You can only hold them accountable for their actions and how they treat others. People seem happy to welcome a manipulating, calculated, and hurtful person back into a space I thought was safe again. If I ever fucked up as badly as that or intentionally hurt people on that scale, I hope you wouldn't ever let me back. I do believe people deserve second chances, but when you sign up to be an anonymous person on the internet who people put their trust in, where your entire relationship network is built on trust alone, no, you shouldn't be able to just walk back in. I already know it's coming, though. I don't want to be around when it does. And she says this because Cinder donated $6,666 to Ironmouse's Tiltify to support the Immune Deficiency Foundation. What? Why does this matter when you're donating to a charity? And here's the thing. Oh, okay. She then replies to her own X post, and as you can see, she locked this X post, and then she says, locking this already because I'm not about to let pure copium run wild under my own tweet. And then she deletes it because you can't find it anywhere in her X account at all anymore. And she then says this on her official X account. Let's see. Here it is. So, by the way, this X post was posted on July 23rd, the same day she basically berated Cinder for her donation branding technique? I don't know. But literally, like, same day as she posted that, and then locked that X post, and then deleted it because I literally can't find it. In fact, why don't I prove it to you guys? Okay. So what was that? What was that? Let me see. What was it? I do believe people. I do believe people. Let's go ahead and type that in. Huh. Well, I'm gonna scroll through. Cool. I don't see the X post, but then again, I just kind of scrolled a little bit. But if you guys want to check it out for yourself and see if you could find the X post, feel free, be my guest. But as far as I know, it's deleted off her X account. But back to the matter at hand. She mentions something really silly. Here it is. I lost it for a moment. And she says this. Same day she deleted her previous X post. I'm leaving X. The only reason I made this account was to make genuine connections and friendships in this community, but I'm tired of having to wade through toxicity in the hopes of finding some good. I thought I need to keep up with everything and anything to get somewhere as a VTuber. The truth is, I've never really cared about getting anywhere. I'm so content with where I am. I've got so lost trying to become someone worthy of other people's validation, trying to be worthy of my own friends who seem to have abandoned me, feeling like maybe if I become someone, they will want me again. I feel so stupid. I've never really had friends, and so trying to navigate friendship in this space has been very harsh. I'm too vulnerable for it, and I accept that now. I'm grateful for the friends I've made, but I'm done trying now. My attention goes back to what made me Peaches in the first place and sparked my love for creating. My wonderful community and my content. The Discord server will still be active for the community, and that's where I'll share any updates from now on. And then she says add element, I assume, will be an X for any communication needed regarding things I've commissioned, etc. And if you click on that, brings you to this person. Manager. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, manager, CTO, VD editor being blood bag for Vampeaches. Ah, cool, cool, cool. So at least she lets us know about that. Says thank you. And so she left X. She posted this after she deleted her previous tweet, or X post, berating Cinder's donation. So there's that. But mind you, she's also the same person that said this, if you can see it. She's the same person that said this about Cinder, stating, I remember playing Phasmophobia with you and hearing Red chat away next to you before you first debuted like 4 years ago. You told me he was your boyfriend. Then before we met for TwitchCon, you switched up and said, just so you know, my manager is coming with me on this trip, as if I didn't know who he was. It's even ickier to read this tweet knowing he is your significant other and that you're probably going to try and avoid taking responsibility for hurting people who trusted you as friends by nuking the red side of this duo. Now, I wanted to bring attention that Vampeaches was part of the Cinder situation. She was the person that made this X post that revealed, hey, Cinder was in a relationship. She's the person that let everyone know that Cinder was in a relationship, mind you, as far as I understand. And here's the thing. This got me here, right? I know we're talking about Cinder donating, but things led to certain things, and I started making leaps in logic to come to conclusions, certain conclusions. And one of them is related to the docs, about how Shiley, Nano, and Bao got together to decide all possible solutions, and they decided the Google Doc, right? If you go to Powder's doc, apparently in the timeline that Powder has, Bao was told many times to include private information about Cinder being in a relationship. And we can check this out, which is here on this YouTube video.
How many times?
It's called Bao's Honest Feelings About the Cinder Situation by Bao the Whale VODs. Around the 35-minute, 25-second mark.
I was told to put in my Google Doc the fact that you had a significant other, and no matter how many people told me to put it in, and how stupid I would be to not put it in, I could not bring myself to put it in, because I knew that what that would do to your reputation.
Okay, so Bao decided not to say it, right, in her Google Doc. But then Vampeaches says it? So, here's the thing, right? I saw that and I'm like, yeah, that just reminds me, yeah, Bao was told multiple times to put in Cinder's private relationship, but she never did. But for some reason, during the Cinder situation, Vampeaches spoke up and said, hey, they're in a relationship, essentially. And it's interesting. I was like, huh? What? No way. Yeah. Manager is redacted, significant other. She put that out there. And in Cinder's apology, by the way, she confirms it, stating, Redacted has been my co-content creator since I began making content, managing all aspects of what I do, and being a major part of where I am here. And we have also been in a relationship since the start of my endeavors. Like, okay, cool. Cinder confirms what Vampeaches has accused Cinder of, like the whole, like, Redacted is your significant other and all that stuff. But here's the thing that also strikes me as odd, right? If we look here at the last part of this X post, it's even ickier to read this tweet knowing he is your significant other and that you're probably going to try and avoid taking responsibility for hurting people who trusted you as friends by nuking the red side of this duo. And it's very, very similar to what Shy Lily says here on this YouTube video VOD, Back to Business, We Kicking More Drugs Today, or Maybe Try Oblivion, April 28, 2025, by the YouTube channel Shy Lily VOD, so around 47 minutes, 30 seconds in.
Eventually see it, but it's typical. I take accountability for nothing. I shove the blame over to my man. I knew nothing. Everything was behind my back. I'm sorry you feel this way.
Okay. Interesting. What was it? I take no accountability. I shove the blame onto my man. Okay. Which is very similar to what Vampeaches says here, okay, it's similar. It's similar. Similar thing. Okay, but then Silvervale mentions something similar on the YouTube video. Silvervale plays Oblivion Remastered Episode 4 and talks about Cinder on the YouTube channel Silvervale's Twitch archive.
Zero accountability, like
47 minutes, 6 seconds in. And then she also says something about Red becoming a scapegoat. Oh, is it? There it is.
she could do this forever.
57 minutes.
To have Red as a scapegoat, I don't
8 seconds
know.
in.
It would make sense, I guess, but
Using Red as a scapegoat, taking zero accountability, similar to what Shy Lily and what Vampeaches said. And then I remembered Contel VA saying the same thing.
I think it was a good response. I think a lot of it was,
By the way, around 4 minutes and like 12 seconds in, something around that, like that.
not really accounted for. She was not really taking accountability. It was just pushed onto Red and, you know, tossed him under the bus, tossed him in the lake. Goodbye. You know, cinder block tied.
Okay, very oddly similar. And then we have Buff Pup here on the YouTube channel. Buff Pup just couldn't believe it after reading Cinder's apology by the YouTube channel Tatsubaki-san. And it's around like a minute 26 seconds in. Long reach, but I feel like you can see where this is going.
Oh, I'm sorry that... She basically said, I'm sorry you feel this way. That's how the document came off to me. I'm sorry that you feel this way. I'm sorry that, like, here's what I did, but I'm sorry you felt that way. I'm sorry that, like, my manager made you feel that way. The deflection is like she's playing pickleball. It's like she's, like, dodging the ball like crazy, okay? It's annoying. And the reason why I find it annoying...
Very similar. Dodging accountability, my manager make you feel this way. The themes are very similar across the board. Vampeaches, Shy Lily, Silvervale, Cottontail VA, and Buff Pup. And I only just realized this now when this whole thing happened, where IDF, Cinder donates, Vampeaches berates Cinder's donation, and then I was like, huh, Vampeaches said this, which led me down this rabbit hole about how a lot of their responses are similarly themed about no accountability and throwing Redacted under the bus. And if we go back to the stream that Buff Pup had, which is the Doggy Apari hashtag Vichibon stream, which is still up, and who knows how long this is going to be up, because based on how Twitch handles like VODs and stuff, this could actually go away in a couple of days. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. This is recorded, it's on a YouTube video, it's whatever. Around 58 minutes and 23 seconds into the VOD, Buff Pup says this, and I covered this in my previous video.
Situation, because it still is affecting a lot of us, but you know, with the fire VTuber that happened recently, a lot of us didn't say anything until the person who was affected said something. And we all went to said person and said, hey, what do you want to do? And they said, I want to do this. And we said, okay, girl, like, you go do that, and we'll be here to support it. So it's just kind of like, a lot of people don't say anything until that person, and I love that about the VTuber community, because I think
I'm literally gonna stomp that there. So, like, Buff Puff's response, it's interesting because she said herself, until the person affected got affected, went up to them, what do you want to do? The person affected says, I want to do this, and then she says, all right, we'll support you. And if I remember correctly, Shy Lily states in her VOD, let's go back to her VOD real quick. She states something here. She's like, share. She says something. Thank goodness, like, YouTube transcript is a thing. Oop. Oop. Here it is. Around 1 hour, 11 minutes, and 4 seconds in. She says this.
I'm thankful for you showing this to me, but I highly encourage you to share this with the people affected, especially Bao.
Shy Lily encourages Nanolis to share the DMs between her and Redacted with the people affected. which is like what? Contel VA makes sense, Silvervale makes sense. Val makes sense, right? But nowhere in there is Vampeaches and Buff mentioned in the Google Docs. So, I've said this in my previous video and I'll say it again, and this is just a massive leap in logic. I'm probably making like a conspiracy theory, which it probably is, who knows, there's a chance I'm highly wrong, but tinfoil hat on. It really feels like that this information was not just shared with the people affected, it was shared to the people affected plus some more. That's what it's starting to feel like when I'm seeing the similar narrative between all 5 of these VTubers stating Cinder took no accountability and shoved it onto her man. Is it just me? If it is, let me know. I am a gullible man. Being absolutely serious, by the way. Okay, so what does this mean? It means that... Oh, and before I even get into that, remember when I showed you the IDF earlier? And about the top donors, I want to do a disclaimer real quick. So we do see that Cinder, someone named Cinder, right, donated, and they donated $6,666. I'm going to say this, and I'm pretty sure people are going to judge me for saying this, but there is a chance, probably a small chance, that that may not be actually Cinder. Who knows? But I'd like to take the benefit of the doubt and say that that is Cinder. Just letting you know, there's literally no way to prove it other than the donation of $6,666, because there's a chance that, hey, maybe it's not Cinder, maybe it's someone pretending to be Cinder, but yeah, that's just the disclaimer. That could not be the real Cinder. But I'd like to believe it is the real Cinder. So I just want to put that disclaimer out there. There's a chance it could be. Just say it. And I'd like to believe it is. Now, like I said, heavily biased video. But anyway, what does this mean? It means that Cinder donated to the Immune Deficiency Foundation through Ironmouse's Tiltify, and then was attacked by... Not attacked, sorry. Let me rephrase that. Cinder donated money to Ironmouse's Tiltify, which supports the Immune Deficiency Foundation, and Vampeaches criticized Cinder's donation, saying it's like a PR stunt, essentially. Deleted that X post, and then stated, she's leaving X. And then from there, I remembered she was the same person that revealed that Cinder was in a relationship, because I'm going to let you know right now, I didn't know Cinder was in a relationship until Vampeaches put that X post out there. Then, after that, I noticed that Vampeaches, Buff Contel VA, Silvervale, and Shylily share a similar accusation where Cinder takes no accountability and she threw her partner under the bus. So that's the conclusion I got from this, really. With that being said, everything I used in the video will be in the description below. I encourage you, the viewer, to go to the source so that way you can come to your own independent conclusion.